I am the Whispering Storyteller. Hello everybody, it's Craig, Whispering Storyteller. I hope you are well. So tonight, we're going to talk all about the World Cup competition that starts on the 21st of November in Qatar, in the Middle East. So if you are sitting comfortably or lying comfortably, I will start reeling off some quirky, interesting facts all about the World Cup. Did you know that this is the first winter FIFA World Cup ever? It normally takes place throughout June and July, which is summer here in the Northern Hemisphere. However, as the first World Cup in the Arab world, the organisers had to make concessions due to the scorching summer temperatures in the region. And while summer temperatures peak at around 50 degrees Celsius, winter is much more comfortable with averages between 4 to 29 Celsius. Did you know that it will start from the 20th of November and end on the 18th of December, which is Christmas time almost? How strange to be having a World Cup tournament right on Christmas time. Very, very, very strange. The competition's first knockout phase will begin from the 3rd to the 6th of December, and the semi-finals will take place on the 13th and 14th of December, with the third place playoffs on the 17th and the final on the 18th of December. Who is it going to be this year? Who is it going to be? Who is going to be crowned the winner? So a total of 32 teams are competing in the Qatar 2022 World Cup. The teams are divided into 8 groups with 4 teams each. And amongst the teams are the winners of the last 3 FIFA World Cups, which are Spain, Germany and France. Did you know that it is the costliest World Cup to date? The costliest World Cup to date. With estimates ranging from 138 billion, which is 220 billion US dollars in infrastructure investments. Qatar is the costliest World Cup to date, and that's nearly 10 times more than the next most expensive World Cups, which was Brazil, 11.6 billion, and Russia, which was 14.2 billion. Now, this is partly because Qatar is building 7 brand new stadiums from scratch. So it is nearly 64 times the 3.5 billion South Africa invested in its World Cup. Qatar is also offering the fewest stadiums for the World Cup, with only 8 in total. has the smallest number of stadiums in any previous World Cup tournaments, and 7 of the 8 stadiums have been built entirely from scratch. And the only existing stadium was massively renovated. It also has the largest number of potential visitors. So, Qatar is situated in the Arab Peninsula. It is an established travel hub and centrally located between most major geographical regions. It's not surprising that the country expects to welcome the largest influx of over 1 million international visitors. It's estimated that 1,300 incoming flights will land in the country daily throughout the competition. That's a lot of people. So, Qatar will be the first Middle Eastern country to host the FIFA World Cup, and only the second in all of Asia. The last time the FIFA World Cup visited a new region was in South Africa in 2010. Did you know that Qatar is the smallest host country in World Cup history? If you didn't, then you do now. So Qatar is the smallest host country ever to host the FIFA World Cup tournament by land size and population. Qatar only covers 11,571 square kilometers, and this makes it even smaller than New York City. The next smallest World Cup host is Uruguay, with a land size of 176,215 square kilometers and a population of roughly 3.5 million. Only 90 miles separate Qatar's 2 stadiums that are the furthest from each other, and all of the World Cup stadiums are connected by the Doha metro line. Did you know that, as Qatar is a conservative Muslim country, there were a lot of concerns about alcohol availability during the World Cup. While alcohol may not be available in the stadiums itself, Qatar has set up alcohol-friendly fan zones throughout the country. Alcohol sold in fan zones will also be much less expensive than what's typical in Qatar. All the stadiums are fitted with central air conditioning. Although the Qatar World Cup takes place in winter, the host country is situated in a subtropical climate and one of the hottest regions in the world. Temperatures will still peak in the high 20s on most days, and while December is one of the coolest months in Qatar, it is also generally the most humid. So it is no surprise that all of Qatar's brand new stadiums will feature central air conditioning. So now we're going to move on to some general World Cup facts. And I'm sporting my England top. Well, this is not an actual football top strip, if you like. It's a t-shirt with the England badge on. Oops, I'm in the wrong area. So the 3 lions on the shirt, which is England's iconic badge. So of course I am rooting for England, and I hope we do well, and I hope everybody does well and enjoys these games very much. Something really to brighten up these winter nights and have something to look forward to get friends together and watch on the biggest screen you can find and have a few beers. So football games are a great way to bond with friends. So a few of us are having a little sweepstake and we're going to represent a country. And yeah, just a bit of fun. What are you doing for World Cup? Are you going to be tuning in and watching it? Which country are you rooting for this year? So here we go. Let's start off with some general World Cup facts all about this prestigious tournament. Are you ready? I will dispense this information now. Did you know that the World Cup is held every 4 years? So to date there has been 20 World Cup tournaments. And the first one actually took place back in 1930. So number 2, did you know that the original World Cup trophy is the Jules Rimet Trophy? Named after the FIFA president Jules Rimet, who passed a vote to start a competition in 1929. Number 3. Did you know that Uruguay were the hosts of the first ever World Cup back in 1930? And they also went on to win the tournament. I think there's something special about playing in the games when it is your country hosting. I think it gives you that extra mojo, if you like. Do you agree? Did you know, number 4, that 2018 is the first ever World Cup to be hosted in Russia? Russia hosted in 2018 for the first time. I don't think that would happen today, do you? But it is true. Number 5. Did you know that England has only ever hosted the tournament once? And that was 1966, which is also the only time we've ever won the tournament. We defeated Germany in the dramatic last-minute 4-2 win. I wasn't around then. I was a twinkle in my dad's eye. But we all know that iconic shot of them winning the World Cup, and it is still celebrated here in England, but we've not managed to kind of clinch that title since. We did very, very well at the last World Cup, but will we manage to do it again? We will see. Number 6. Did you know that almost half the world's population, that's 3.2 billion people, tuned in to the 2014 World Cup? Did you know, number 7, that the 2002 World Cup, hosted by both South Korea and Japan, was the first ever World Cup to be hosted by 2 different nations? Did you know that? Did you? I think I did, but I'd forgot all about that. Number 8. Did you know that Brazil are currently the nation to boast the most World Cup wins? They've won 5 World Cups, Brazil. 5 World Cups. Just enjoying this peaceful ambience, talking about the World Cup. Are you ready for number 9? Here it is. Did you know that Germany and Italy are close behind Brazil, having won 4 tournaments each? That's Germany and Italy both won 4 times. Number 10. Number 10. Egyptian goalkeeper Essam El Hadari is the oldest player ever to play in the World Cup. At the age of 45 years old. And he played in the 2018 Russian World Cup. After saving Saudi Arabia's Fahad El Mulawadi. I'm very bad at these pronunciations and I do apologise. But he saved the penalty for South Arabia in his last game. Then he became the oldest ever goalkeeper to save a penalty at the World Cup. The oldest goalkeeper to save a penalty in the World Cup. So, number 11, the oldest person ever to score a goal in the World Cup. Any ideas who that was? Well, I will tell you if you don't already know. It was the Cameroonian player Roger Milla who scored against Russia in 1994. Roger Milla scored against Russia in 1994. In the 2018 Russian hosted World Cup, the distance between Ekaterinburg and Kaliningrad, which is the easternmost host city and westernmost host city respectively, is 1,500 miles apart. So that is the same distance from Moscow to London. Wow, so if you were one of the spectators, you would have to travel all that way to see another game, whereas Qatar is the same size as New York City. How fascinating, eh? How fascinating, how fascinating. Number 13. Did you know that the fastest ever World Cup goal took place in only 10.89 seconds after kickoff? It was scored by Hakan Şükür of Turkey against South Korea in 2002. Number 14. The highest ever scoring in a World Cup match was when Austria defeated Switzerland 7-5 at the Switzerland-hosted 1954 World Cup. So the highest ever scoring in a World Cup match, Austria v Switzerland, and was 7-5 in the 1954 World Cup. And we're on to 15. In 1966, the World Cup trophy was stolen. It was actually stolen. This happened prior to the tournament and was missing for 7 days before it was found by a dog named Pickles. So a little bit more about Pickles. So Pickles was an English dog that belonged to David Corbett. Pickles came across a suspicious package during a walk with his owner in 1966. And the unlikely hero stumbled upon the Jules Rimet trophy, which had been stolen 6 days prior in London. Wow. So that very same year, we, England, actually won our only World Cup final. So I think pickles must have been a good luck charm for us. Good old pickles. A really interesting fact that was. Number 17. Number 17. Did you know that English goalkeeper Peter Shilton, the goalkeeper of England's winning 1966 squad, holds the highest record of clean sheets, having earned 10 clean sheets in the World Cup. Get it a nice chorus of seagulls there. I'll wait for them to stop before I continue. Very, very loud. How rude. Number 18. Number 18. Did you know that Mexico is the team with the most losses, having lost 25 different matches since the World Cup started? Poor Mexico. So they had 25 matches that they lost since the World Cup started. Number 19. 19. The Italians are the team who have had the most World Cup draws, with 21 draws altogether. 21 draws for the Italians, putting them as the highest team draw in the World Cup history. Now, I mentioned before that Brazil are the team that have the highest World Cup wins. So they've won a total of 70 games at the tournament. 70 games. They've won 70 games. Isn't that amazing? So number 21. Number 21. Brazil also hold the record for the most wins in one tournament, winning 7 matches at the 2002 World Cup in the South Korea-Japan tournament. So to put that into perspective, they won every game in the tournament that year. That is all 3 group games, their round of last 16 game, their quarter-final game, their semi-final game, and then the final match in order to win their 5th World Cup title. Well, Brazil, that is some achievement. Some achievement. Number 22. Number 22. Did you know that Germany have only ever failed to make it past the group stages in the World Cup twice? So they failed once in 1938 and then 80 years later at the 2018 World Cup, where they crashed out defending their title in the groups with a crushing defeat at the hands of South Korea. Number 23. Number 23. Italy and Brazil are the only 2 teams ever to win the tournament twice in a row. So Italy and Brazil have won twice in a row and are the only 2 teams that have done so. Fascinating. Number 24. Number 24. Indonesia is the team to have played the least amount of World Cup matches, having only played one in 1938. So just to recap there, Indonesia is the team to have played the least amount of World Cup matches, once in 1938. Did you know that? I didn't know that. But we know it now. And number 25. Number 25. In 2006, the number of teams qualified in the World Cup will jump from 32 to 48. So just to think about that, so in 2026 the number of teams qualified will jump from 32 to 48. That's quite a considerable increase, isn't it? Number 26. Number 26. 26, 26, 26, 26, 26. The most goals ever scored in a single World Cup game is an impressive 5, which was scored by Oleg Selenko of Russia in 1994. Oleg Selenko of Russia scored 5 goals in a single World Cup game, and that was in 1994. Number 27. Number 27. Did you know that Argentina are the team with the highest amount of red and yellow cards across the World Cup tournaments they've played in? Argentina with the most red and yellow cards. Maradona. That name springs to mind, the late great Maradona. Number 28. Number 28 is retired German striker Miroslav Klose, is the World Cup's highest total goal scorer. So he has scored 16 goals in total. 16 goals in total for retired German striker Miroslav Klose. Number 29. Number 29. As many of us heartbroken England fans can attest, England was the team who have lost the most World Cup penalty shootouts, having lost on penalties in 3 separate World Cups. We've had some really close calls. 1990 really springs to mind with Paul Gascoigne, or Gaza, the famous cry in Gaza. But yeah, we seem to have a really run of bad luck when it comes to penalty shootouts in the World Cup final. And it's something we dread if it happens. It's unwatchable. It literally is. However, at number 30, we have something on the back of that last one, which is England's old football nemesis, Germany, have actually won the most penalty shootouts. They've won 4 times in a World Cup, so they are extremely lucky at penalty shootouts. And at number 31, at the onset of World War II in 1939, the plans for the World Cup in 1942 were cancelled due to FIFA having no funding for the tournament and still having to rebuild itself following the devastating conflict that took place. So the 1942 games did not take place due to the war. And number 32, did you know that the Jules Rimet trophy has been missing since 1983? Well, the famed trophy has been missing since it was stolen from Brazil in 1983. After Brazil's 3rd World Cup win in 1970, Brazil were allowed to keep the Jules Rimet trophy permanently. 13 years later, the gold-plated sterling silver trophy was stolen. World Cup facts indicate it's believed to have been melted down as it has never been recovered. Wow, the Jules Rimet trophy, has it been melted? Where is it? It's still missing, in theory. 33. Did you know that the Women's World Cup started in 1991? Well, the World Cup facts tell us that the FIFA oversaw the first Women's World Cup in 1991. China hosted the first Women's World Cup, which saw the United States take home the trophy. So the US and Germany have each won 2 World Cup titles. That's pretty impressive. And this one's an interesting fact for 34. Did you know that India bailed on the World Cup because they couldn't play barefoot? Interesting. So reading this here, the World Cup facts tell us that India qualified to play in the 1950 World Cup finals, but opted out of the tournament. So why on earth would they decide not to appear in one of the world's most coveted events? Well, the answer is because they couldn't play barefoot, which was the only way they'd practiced at that point. Wow, that is amazing, isn't it? Did you know only 8 countries have won the World Cup? 8 countries. So these victorious countries across the 20 tournaments are all from Europe or South America. So Brazil, Germany, Italy, Argentina, Uruguay, France, England and Spain. 8 countries. Well, that concludes my little chat all about the World Cup, which starts very soon. So I'm getting myself all excited. It's going to be a really unusual way to spend November and December, celebrating the World Cup and watching all those brilliant games and that feeling that camaraderie, people coming together, having a good drink and a good cheer, and hopefully England will do well, but I hope your team do well as well. May the best team win, that's what I say. So guys, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I will be back very soon with some more content for you. Don't forget, you can send me some items if you want me to open them and have a chat. I've got a PO box and it's in the description on the channel. And of course, I'm very grateful to anyone who subscribes. Helps me to connect with you and make this channel the best it can be, which is all for your relaxation. Again, thanks to all my kind donators. Pat Perry, who has donated to my channel just recently. Appreciate it so much. The support that you give me is absolutely astronomical, and I'm so thankful from the bottom of my heart for anything you guys can do to help keep my channel going. So I'm going to leave you in peace to have a nice restful sleep, and I will see you very soon. Good night.